Hello, welcome. Let's try to solve another Leetcode problem. 165. Compare version numbers. So we are having two version numbers, version 1 and version 2, and we need to compare them. A version 3 consists of revisions separated by dots. The value of the revision is its integer conversion, ignoring leading zeros. Yeah, so we should understand what is a version. Normally, while we are developing software or we are using the package, it always have the version. Normally, from the beginning, it's gonna be like 0.0. Yeah, because for all others, it's gonna be 0. And then we're gonna maybe have a 0.1 or 0.1.2. Yeah, so we just need to compare them. And we're going to compare them according to each of the integer values in different positions of the version. So for example, the version 1, if version 1 less than version 2, we're going to return -1. If it is more than, we're going to return 1. If it is equal, so this means that they are equal, so we're going to return 0. So for version, this one, 0.0, should less than 0.1. And 0.1 should less than 0.12. Yeah, so we can use in Python we can use a split to split from the dot. Yeah, to get an array, but the length of the array is not equal. So we're gonna do some paddings of the array. So first of all, we're gonna do the splitting. After that, we're gonna do the padding. So for example, if this is 0.1 compared with 0.1.2, how we gonna do that? First of all, we're gonna split it into array. It's gonna be 0 and 1, and for the second array, it's gonna be 0, 1, and 2. So in order to compare them, we're gonna do some padding at the end. So for 0, 1, there's nothing. It is a sorter, so we're gonna put a 0 here. Then we're gonna compare one by one. So 0, 0 equal, 1, 1 equal, 0 is less than 2. So means this version is bigger. So if version 2, so for example, if this is a version 2, this is a version 1. Yeah, so if version 2 is bigger, so this means we're gonna return a -1. Yeah, so basically we're gonna do like that. Now let's go back to the code editor to finish the coding. Because we are going to do the padding, we're gonna prepare a maximum length. So it's gonna be the maximum of length of version of version 1 and the length of version 2. So mx would be the maximum length. Now we are going to do the padding. So let's try to do the padding. We're gonna compare the length. While length of version 1 is less than mx, so we're gonna try to do some paddings at the end. Yeah, but let's just split the version 1 to 2 first, because that's gonna be easier for us to do the padding, because we're gonna put it inside an array. So we're gonna prepare a v1 and v2. So it's gonna be the version 1 dot split with a dot, and similarly for version 2. So it's gonna be version 2 dot split with a dot. Yeah, so if this length version 1 is less than mx, so we should know that version 1 should we can use extend. Yeah, we can use extend. So the version 1 should extend how many zeros? It's gonna be 0 times mx minus the length of version 1. And similarly, yeah, and we're gonna use if, because we used the extend. And similarly, we can also check the version 2. It's gonna be the same. So if version 2 is less than mx, so version 2 can extend some zeros, and it's gonna be mx times minus. Yeah, I'm sorry. It is it is mx minus version 1. It should have a parenthesis, and similarly for the version 2. and here gonna be version 2. Let's just have a check what is inside. Maybe we can use some examples. Yeah, maybe this third example may be a good example to check. Yeah, let's just return a 0 and check what is v1 and v2. Let's check if it is as I expected. Let's just check, yeah, maybe the third example. As you can see, so yeah, why so many zeros? So this is a version 2, and yeah, this should be version 1. Yeah, v1 should extend 0 times. Yeah, I did something wrong. It should be v1, not version 1, because that is a string. Yeah, because here after splitting we're gonna do the padding, so it's gonna be v1 and v2. We're gonna compare the array, and also for the maximum it's gonna be v1 and v2, because we're gonna check the array, not the string. The string gonna be the same, so we're gonna compare with the array. Now let me run it to check if it is as expected. Now we can see that it is expected. So here is 1 0, and for others we're gonna have a padding of 0, and for others it is still 0. As you can see, at the right side it is a 0 string, but here is a 0 integer. So we're gonna make it always to be the string for easy comparison. So we're gonna make it to string. Now as you can see what is inside. So you can say inside it's gonna be the same version. It will always be the string. Yeah. Now we can start compare with them. So we're gonna just need a if check. So from here I'm gonna check it. So if so for, let's say for AB, A is a string, B is another string. In two strings, it's gonna be the zip of v1 and v2. Now we can compare them together, but we're gonna turn it into integer. So if integer A more than integer of B, it is the first version. If the first version is more than that, so definitely we're gonna return a 1. So if integer A less than integer B, definitely the version of B is bigger, so we're gonna return a -1. If it is not like that, after the for loop, it means each of the numbers are gonna be equal. It's like the third case, so we're gonna return a 0. Yeah. So let's just check it if it works. As you can see, it works. As you can see for all the testing case. Now we just need to submit it to prove that it works. Yeah, that is for this version. It's gonna be 1. Yeah, because it's gonna be 10, 6, and 5. Definitely it's gonna be 1, but I return a 0. Let me check this example. Yeah, so I can just print out this v1 and v2 to check what is inside and what is wrong with my code. Yeah, so it seems I didn't do the padding correctly. You can see here is 10, 6, 5, and this version 2 should be 10, 6, and 0. Yeah, because for the zip, it is always compared with the same length. It will only compare with the first two strings. It will not check the third one. Yeah, it means there's something wrong with my coding. It's not about the zip, but about here, the if check. Let me check what is wrong. Yeah, first of all, I got the maximum of version 1 and version 2 array, so it should be okay. Let me just print out here for this v1 and v2. Yeah, v1 and v2 is okay. Yeah. So from here, I think, yeah, v1 and v2, it is like this. And after extension, it should have a 0, but I didn't have. So I have to check the length of v1 and v2. So the maximum should be 3. 3 minus 3, this is going to be 0. And 3 minus 2, this is going to be 1. But I didn't do that. Yeah, let me also check the this one. Yeah, let me just check if it is 1. Maximum minus the length of v2. Yeah, so where is my maximum? My maximum. Yeah, let me just print it out. Yeah, so the maximum minus the length of version 2, it should be 1. So let's check if it is 1. Yeah, but I got a 1. I got a 1. So it means this is 1, and 1 times 0. Yeah, I should have a 0, but I didn't extend it. There's something wrong. Let me print out this v2. So the version 2 is still the same. Length of version 2. Yeah, because here I think I did it wrong, because inside it should be v1 and v2. I still use the version. The version should always be the same. I don't know why I passed so many testing cases. Now let's just try to check it, and it should be okay. Now as you can see, it is okay. Yeah, so we have to be careful. Yeah, because from the beginning I used v1 and v2, and version 1 and version 2. It is quite confusing. I should always yeah, make it consistent. If I change something, it may get totally wrong. Yeah, so the algorithm should be easy. We just need to calculate the maximum length of the version 1 and version 2 string, version 1 and version 2 array, and then we're gonna make a padding. Yeah, make it the same length, and then we're gonna compare one by one. But while comparing each one of them, we have to turn them into an integer, and then we're gonna compare it, because we are not comparing with the strings, we are comparing with the integers of each iteration of the two versions. Okay. Now let me submit it to check if it can pass. Yeah, as you can see, it passed all the testing cases, and the time complexity is going to be easier. It's going to be just ON. Yeah, because we didn't do any nested for loop. It's only a for loop. Thank you for watching. See you next time.